Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Dropping into Happiness. We are your hosts. I am Rachel.
And I'm Maggie.
Hello, friends. Hello, Sundrops. And speaking of Sundrops, y'all, a buddy of mine who does graphic design, I reached out to him about getting us some merch and, artwork and stuff for our Sundrops, and I got some. So by the time this episode launches, I'll probably post a picture of it on our Instagram just because I think it's super cute. And then the merch in the merch store will be available for you, Sundrops, if anybody would like to get any of the merch that has a Sundrops, so you can just proclaim proudly. That was hard to say all together. That you are a Sundrop and a diehard listener. So yay!
Shout out to the Sundrops. Woo woo.
Yes, I know. We have a new one too. Just the other day on our Instagram, somebody was like, "Oh, I heard one episode today, and I'm going to go back and listen to all of them." I was like, "Well, guess you're a Sundrop now." That's what happens. That's what happens. Well, friends, before we get into this week's topic, though, let's check in with Maggie. Maggie, how's it going with the fundraising for the Big Dopey Challenge?
I'm so excited. So if you're listening out of order, you may or may not know that in January of 2023, I'll be participating in the Run Disney Marathon Weekend, completing the Dopey Challenge, which means from Thursday through Sunday, I'll do a 5K, 10K, half and full, 48.6 miles. And I'm doing this for charity. I'm running for the Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida. And Rachel's been helping me out by sharing my link to my fundraiser in our show notes. It's in the Dropping into Happiness pod Instagram link tree. It's in my link tree. Anyway, very exciting news. The goal was a minimum of $900. As of today, we're at 88% of our goal reached, $799.60.
What? Yay! Oh my gosh, we're so close already. And we got months to go, right?
Yes, we still have 158 days to raise money. So I had a feeling in my heart that we were going to hit the goal requirement, but I had a feeling we were really going to blow it out of the water. So I did learn that the fundraising page that I use requires a minimum of $10 donation. So if you're someone who would like to donate, but you'd rather donate something under $10, I really appreciate it because it all adds up. We can add my Venmo to the show note details, or you can reach out to me on Instagram, or because that way you can send it to me that way, and then I can just add it up and make one donation at the end. So that was my way of getting around it. I actually I did a little small giveaway on my Instagram for people who donated. I mailed out some stickers last week, Dropping in Happiness stickers, which Rachel had hooked me up with. So that was really cool. And I'm just going to keep doing little fun things like that to raise money for a great cause. So I really appreciate your all's support. I just wanted to shout out some of the recent donors in case they are Sundrops themselves. So Susan D was so generous in her donation and wished me good luck. Kelly Johnson, you're going to rock this weekend, Maggie. Have a fantastic time. Audrey, Sarah and Lauren, Michelle, Lauren, another Lauren D, Karen, Vicky, Jan, Lillian, and then our girl Rachel donated. Yay! Thank you, Rachel. Jenna, and then Pat V. I think we shouted out in the last podcast. So that catches us up to date with the donations we've gotten so far, and people are just being so generous. Fun. It's really amazing.
I know, and guys, I still want to do this. I've told Maggie more than once that I want to get everybody's name written down, and I want to put it on a T-shirt for her. So I'm going to have it Dropping into Happiness on the front, and then all of our supporters who have donated, just their names on the back, just so we can run with her. Because I mean, come on, how cool is that? So I think that's going to be really fun. But still, so have you officially started training? Started doing your stuff?
We've been training now. I think we just finished week 4. I did 5.5 miles last weekend. This weekend will be 3, and then next week 7. The training program calls for 2 45-minute runs and then a longer run on the weekend. I usually swap out a 45-minute run for an Orange Theory class or one of my group fitness classes, because it's really just about maintaining the athleticism at that point. So I really prioritize my long runs on the weekends. But yeah, it's going really
Yeah.
well. I got some new running shoes recently. I'll just pop this into the podcast. It's not relevant to our
Yeah.
topic today, but I do get this
Tangent.
question. Exactly. I get this question a lot, so I just want to voice it to anybody that needs to hear it about running shoes, even walking shoes. And people will ask me, what brand do you wear? What shoe do you wear? And every popular brand of running shoes is a great shoe. However, every brand has multiple different styles of shoes
Mm,
that benefit different needs. So I always just highly recommend going to a shoe store and
yeah.
getting fitted by, going to a proper running shoe store and getting fitted by someone who is professional, who knows what they're talking about, and not just buying straight from the rack because it's popular or it's cute. Of course, I
Hmm.
love when my running shoes are cute, but the
Yeah.
priority is that they fit my needs.
That's a perk.
Yeah, so I actually went in and got half size up from what I'd been wearing because I had got some black toenails from long runs, lost some toenails, and
What?
because my
I
foot
did
was
not know that.
too close to the edge. So typically in running
Mm.
shoes you do have to size up. So anyway, I'm excited because I
Oh.
got new shoes and they're way more comfortable now, and
What
it's
brand
gonna
did you get, if you don't mind saying?
so I typically wear Mizuno Wave
Oh.
Inspires, and then I also picked up a pair of Hoka Arahis, which I haven't. I wore them to Disney recently all day, and they held up amazingly, but I haven't run in them yet. So
Hmm.
they're both what are called stability shoes, which
Oh.
fits the needs that I have. I have a little bit of, I think it's called pronation. My feet fall inward
Oh.
when I run, and I'm flat-footed and all those things. So anyway,
Yeah.
this is a big shoe tangent, but those are the brands I got. And another tip too with running shoes, they always come out with a new series, kind of like the iPhones. They're
Ah.
always coming out. So like Wave Inspire 17s are the newest version, but you can get Wave Inspire 16s on sale. They're the
Mm.
same shoe, they're just like
Oh,
old
yeah.
colors. So that's a tip because
Yeah.
running shoes can be an investment for
Well, just
sure.
I feel like sneakers in general, they can absolutely be kind of a rough one to do because I spent a long time trying to find just a shoe that felt good on my foot and then that didn't give me like blisters immediately. And
Right.
I think I told you I got the Under Armour Geminis and I
Hmm.
really love them. It's like a fabric shoe, so I don't have any rubbing or chafing or blisters, and
Hmm.
it's really great support on the bottom. So I really liked those ones. But I'm new to this running thing, so
Right.
those were my first ones I tried, but I really liked them too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
if anybody ever's like out there running and you're suffering from foot pain or any kind of knee pain or toe pain, it's probably a sign that the shoes that you have are not right for you or they need to be replaced. So
Yeah.
that's my
Okay.
random shoe PSA for the day.
I know. Yeah, we did not intend to do that, but hey, it
Hey.
is what it is. But so I know this is this is the first official Wednesday, right? First episode in August,
Right.
and last month was really a month of listener questions. Well, y'all, if you guys ask, we want to answer. And
Mhm.
so this week is actually yet again another listener question. So this is actually this person is a WW member. We see this person. I think I see this person pretty much every week. Love this member. Very engaged on our social media on his own journey. So member Russ. Hey Russ, shout
Hey,
out.
Russ.
Russ had asked. He'd asked a question about. Okay. Have you ever, I feel like I need to fill this in with a scenario. Have you ever been going along on a journey, hitting goals, knocking them down,
Crushing
feeling
it.
good? Yeah. And then one day you just wake up and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like just all of it's gone. And
Mhm.
it's not like you were struggling and you weren't having any frustrations. And like, it's just suddenly like, where did that momentum go? Where did that passion go? Where did that energy go? And he wanted to know kind of if we've ever experienced that. And if so, kind of how we moved past that. I feel like he's kind of hit a wall recently.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I feel like when these things happen, it's not that we don't want to keep losing or we don't want to stay healthy, but it's just so awkward. Like just the momentum's not there. The passion isn't there. The excitement isn't there. And it's
Mhm.
so weird. So I've experienced this. Have you experienced that on your journey yet, Max?
Yes, y'all. And if anybody tries to tell you that they haven't, they're lying to you. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Motivation which I think is what Russ is getting at here. You know, we have those seasons where we're on fire for the journey and just everything is so exciting and we're doing all the things all at once, and then all of a sudden it's hard again. That's the feeling of motivation. And
Mm-hmm.
it's leaving you, right? Which is a
Yeah, it's
natural
fleeting.
right. It's an emotion that comes and goes, and that's why we can't necessarily rely on emotion to have a successful journey. And so
Mm.
when I'm in seasons of like that, because yes, I have had many a season like that,
Yeah.
it's usually because I'm doing way too much and I'm expecting
Hmm.
way too much. And we've talked about this before. Yeah, that's why I'm a wash, rinse, and repeat girl when it comes to goals.
Yeah.
We think, okay, I need to get all my workouts in, get all my tracking in, drink all of the water, do all the veggies, go to all the workshops. And then your life gets in the way and you're
Mm.
tired and like there's just things that go on. So that's when for me, the word was momentum. The way that you can build momentum is to start with one small thing,
Mm.
execute it to the best of your ability, celebrate the fact that you executed it, and then wash, rinse, repeat. Do it again, and then do it again. And you'll start to feel that sense of a building in you, right? You've taken some of the pressure off of your plate, but you're still doing something that's positive for yourself. I
Oh
think it
yeah.
can really make a difference.
Absolutely. Cause I hit my I hit my moment last June, I want to say it was.
Mm.
So I was in the midst. I had already lost over 100 pounds. Like I had just hit it actually a few weeks before that. So I had hit
Woo-hoo.
this great goal. And then I went to Vegas with some friends, actually some other WW friends, because
Mhm.
that's one of the downfalls of having virtual employee like friends and coworkers is y'all are in different places in the United States. So
Right.
we met up somewhere fun. And so we went to Vegas for like 3 days. And it was so hard for me to get out of like vacation mode. And then right after that, it was holidays. And then right after, it was Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas. And then I just was just super losing it. And I honestly feel like I didn't actually get back to that great mindset of I'm all in, I'm all there. This is why I'm doing this until a few weeks ago.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
literally, it took me a very long time and I could feel it. I could sense it. I knew it was there, but I, like you're saying, like kind of building on these things, like, cause that momentum's not always going to be there. That passion might not always be there. That motivation might not always be there. But I kept telling myself, I'm just going to lean on these healthy habits for right now. I'm just going to lean on these healthy habits
Right,
right now.
because that season
Mm-hmm.
that you felt where it was you weren't really, you said the words all in, you were still doing things that were for your health and
Mm-hmm.
wellness. You just
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel like you were, rocking the power bus, which it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. It's like, Rachel, you were still doing great things. You were still a part of the conversation. You still had it in
Yeah.
your mind. You just weren't celebrating the things that you were doing, and you were focused. I'm saying you as in Rachel, but really what I mean is the
Yeah.
general you, us, we
Yeah.
all don't like focus on the things that we're doing well, and we're just so frustrated by the things that we're not doing. And then
Mm-hmm.
and so we're like, oh, well, I'm not in it right now. And I think the more that we tell ourselves, like, I'm just not in it, or I just can't get a grip, we're not going to
Yeah.
get the grip. We just got to start telling ourselves, I think, like, I'm in it. We've talked
Mm-hmm.
about this before. I'm a real big believer in the way that we identify and the words that we speak over ourselves. So if we tell ourselves, like, I'm unmotivated, I've lost all my momentum, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't follow up with an action plan, that's where things get really dicey. But I think
Yeah.
we have to flip the script and be like, you know what? I am consistent. And how am I going to be consistent today? Which
Yeah.
I've probably mentioned in a podcast before. Um, I think that makes a big difference. And then the motivation might not ever really leave us if we're constantly in the business of kind of reframing our mindset around it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. My brain's kind of going on its own
No, I
little
like how you were
tangent, I
saying
think.
though with the words we say, because we've talked
Mhm.
about this in the episode of words and phrases we want to eliminate. And
Mhm.
one of those phrases that that I have personally eliminated is off track. I
Right.
never said that entire time, oh, I'm off track. Because even on the weeks where, because, we, Maggie and I both follow WW if you're new to the podcast. And so we track our food. We have an app and we track things. So even if I wasn't tracking consistently, I was getting in all my water. If I wasn't getting in my water and I wasn't tracking, I was going for walks during the day. I was always trying to make sure that one of my healthy habits was still there, even if I wasn't 100% all in. And that's okay. I mean, I have to say that to people all the time, like, especially when we are in our WW virtual workshops. I don't even ask people anymore, what is something, do you have a celebration this week? Because for one thing, if they're there, there's
a celebration, right?
Yes. Even if you were completely out of your points, even if you didn't exercise that day, even if you didn't get in your water, you showed up today. And so I don't ever feel like, I never ever felt this whole, seriously, it was almost a year, like off track. I did end up putting on about 20 pounds, and I do kind of, like, I realized that started when I started working back out in the world again. Because you and I both lost a majority of our weight during lockdown, during pandemic. And when I started going back to my other job in this, I work at a radio station. At the station, that's when it started happening. I was closer to Starbucks now. I was closer to the pizza place. People were bringing donuts in. And it really took that long time for me to shift back into this, hey, I have control of this situation. Yeah. But like I said, I never felt like I was off track. I'm doing air quotes for anybody because I don't like that term. It's like I said, especially if you're still getting in your water, if you're still showing up to workshops, if you're still showing up for yourself, even if it's just in one area, you're not off of anything.
Right. Exactly.
Is my opinion.
I think it's true, because if you really, we've all heard the phrase, like, it's a lifestyle, not a diet, right? But if you really believe that, then there is no off track or on track. It's just your life. And either you mentioned, like, the majority of your healthy habits are present, or you're anchoring into one, or you're not executing any healthy habits, which I just feel is so rare that we just ditch all of our efforts, especially if we've been working on something so consistently. I feel like, even if you go on vacation mode and you tell yourself, like, oh, I'm not going to track, there's still things within your WW mindset that are there. You're thinking about them. You're taking the pause. So, I wanted to share a quote, and I don't know if this quote comes from someone specifically, I don't have the source. It was just, I was actually in a church service last Sunday and they were talking about this and I had to write it down. So there's a misconception that you need motivation to get rolling, but motivation follows action. And so sometimes I think it's just that small step, that action, and sometimes it's a different thing than what you've always been doing. So, Rachel was mentioning that when she went out into the real world, that's when she started to notice, like, her journey take a minor backseat, if you will. Where I felt like when I started focusing on WW as my full-time job and I was out of my teaching environment, and between, Zoom and the podcast and the Connect groups and my own social media platform, it was like 99% of my life was talking about health and wellness and weight loss. And when you're doing something so much, and not to mention my own journey, right? And my own time in the gym or my own tracking or whatever. When you're doing so much, it's so natural for you to be like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of talking about this. Or I'm tired of, like, this just being an all-consuming thing. So then it's like, okay, how can I just shake it up? And so we're getting ready to go back to school, and I do some teaching in the high school choir and theater and stuff. And so, what I was like, I'm going to shake up my breakfast and my lunch prep for this school year. And I just bought, like, some new containers, and I've been watching, like, little meal prep ideas on Instagram, and, getting the silicone cupcake holders.
Oh, the little molds. Yeah, I love those.
That
I
you
have
can
some.
you can use to, like, you love bento boxes. You can kind of organize your own bento box. So I got some of those. I've been, like, saving little meal prep ideas, and that's just kind of getting me more excited about my food pillar. Like, just those simple little tweaks of thinking, like, how can I make breakfast and lunches exciting? Because I know that's something that if I invest in the time, it's going to make a lot of difference in how I feel on the journey. I'm going to have more flexibility for dinner points, which I love. Yeah. Right. But just, hey, let me get some new containers and some cute little silicone cupcake holders, and then all of a sudden I'm like, woohoo, I'm excited to meal prep, right? So I think it's little things like that too can help with the energy. on the
Well,
journey?
so I knew I wanted to get back into weight loss mode because I was in maintenance mode for a really long time. So I wanted to get back into weight loss mode. And I had an idea, I had a plan. I just wasn't putting it into place. But I had talked to my mom, and because if anybody knows my story, my mom and I started together in January 2020. And along that way, my sister had started probably a year and a half or so ago. And we all realized that we were at this place of like stale, I guess is the word to think about it. Cause like I said, we were never off anything, but it just like, yeah, that excitement was gone. That motivation was gone. So we decided like, we were like, I talked about this, that one of my favorite techniques is rewinding the tape. So what helped us stay motivated and excited before? And it was checking in with one another. So all three of us decided, okay, we are recommitting. So every Monday we weigh in and we tell each other the number, because my sister was like, I have to say the number or I feel like I could just tell you, oh yeah, I did it. So we tell each other the number, and then we've been, sending each other recipes and how did it go today or how are you feeling? And that accountability, it's been feeling really good. And then also just it kind of like reignited my fire. Like you said, just kind of shaking things up a little bit. And I started my couch to 5K, and that was new for me. I wasn't a runner before. And so just finding this new activity, getting really touch and base again with my accountability buddies, because that doesn't have to be a family member. So many of our virtual WW members are finding accountability buddies across the country. I mean, Maggie's one of my accountability buddies. She's in Florida. Like it doesn't have to be somebody that's right next to you. So I think that's what really helped me, like knowing that I was reporting back into somebody. And you even said that a couple of weeks ago. Remember, we were going to talk about saying our weigh-ins and stuff on air.
Oh,
and
we did say that, didn't we?
Yeah, for that accountability.
I guess we ought to talk about that, huh?
I know. So, because I said I had put on 20. I was on an even 20 since October last year. But in the last 2 weeks, I've taken off 5. So I was very proud of myself. My lowest was 141. And since last October, I got up to 162. So I guess I put on 21. But I'm down to 157. So I took off 5 in the last couple of weeks. I've been very excited about that.
Yay! That's very exciting.
And right. And it was just paying attention again to what I'm eating, tracking my food, drinking my water. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm getting in activity because I'm doing my couch to 5K. And so it just feels like another activity that I'm doing, essentially. It doesn't feel like I'm working out. It just feels like an activity that I have on my schedule. And so that's been really helping too. So yeah,
I should probably share my weigh-in just before I forget. We'll have to start putting this in our notes so we remember to do it every week.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember where I was when we recorded that. So I'll just say this is the weigh-in.
Yeah.
We're actually recording this on a day that I weighed in, so that's helpful. So I weigh in on Fridays, and so just to catch y'all up to date, and this is a Sundrop exclusive because I don't talk about this in my workshops, and I don't talk about it on Instagram much anymore. Me neither. I used to share my daily weigh on Instagram, and though it was helpful in some ways, it was not in others. I'll just keep it short. So anyway, my lowest ever weight on WW was 188.2 pounds, which I was still, at that time, my goal was 145, which was the highest weight that WW would recommend based off of the BMI, but we know that the BMI is not a full indicator of health. So I've talked to my doctor, and right now I'm shooting for 160. Okay. So that just kind of catches you up, and I can always continue to lose after that, but I just wanted to kind of shorten the goalpost a little bit and just see, because I haven't weighed 145 pounds since I was 9 years old, and I don't really count that as a thing. So so anyway, I got to 188.2. That was June of 2021, right?
Yeah, that was my lowest. June, or was it June 2021?
Yeah, because February 2021 was when I hit 100 pounds down. Okay, yeah. So it was about June 2021. So since then, not long after that, I started to fluctuate between 190 to 195, and that I was considered maintaining my 100-pound weight loss within that range. And then within the past few months, with summer and everything, I've gone up to around 200, 201. So like maintaining between 195 and 200, which I didn't really want to leave Wonderland. So that was kind of like my moment. I'm like, okay, we got to start to tighten some of the things with the food pillar.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I weighed in today at 201.6, which was up 0.6 from last Friday. However,
Okay.
I was negative 120 in my weeklies this week, tracking honestly at Disney World.
Yeah.
So I'll
I
take it.
saw.
I had
Yeah.
weighed when I got back from Disney, and I was up like 5 pounds from today. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll take my 0.6, and we're gonna
Yeah.
keep rocking and rolling. So we have to keep track of where we are because Rachel and I sometimes do like
A couple
recording in
weeks at a time.
advance. So we'll just be able to we'll update you if we can where we
Yeah.
are in the week.
I know.
So that is today. What is today? The 29th of July. That's where I'm at. It's kind of, I don't know about you, Rachel, but it's kind of scary to talk about that. It's very personal to talk about like numbers but like it isn't in some ways, but it is. I don't know.
My
It's
only
hard.
concern when we talk numbers is that other people will feel like that's where they need to be as well. And and literally a number is different for everyone. Because I don't know. How tall are you, Maggie? I don't know how tall you are.
I'm 5'4".
Okay, see, and I'm 5'6". So, 150 is going to look different on me than it is on you. And so like, and our goals could be different looking because of that height difference and the age difference. Like so friends, when we talk about numbers, yes, when we talk about our numbers, it is strictly per person. So I don't want anybody to be discouraged, essentially, is I think what I'm getting at about their numbers, because that number could look completely different. Because I mean, that number, so that number on the scale, so my number went up. On my Instagram the other day, I was saying how excited I was that my resting heart rate now is down to 59. That means that I'm in the athletic zone. So even at my height, my frame, my weight, my heart rate is now as strong as an athlete. And that was very exciting for me. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? There's so many other indicators. So yeah, don't let your number discourage you. There's much bigger picture, friends, but we are just checking in as an accountability for us with y'all. So,
especially since both of us want to be in that weight loss mode mindset. I think it is a good source of accountability to talk through it. And then maybe folks will hear that they're not alone if they had a gain this week or whatever the case may be, so hopefully it'll prove to be helpful.
Our listener who was having this struggle, like I saw him with his momentum, because like I said, I would see him every week in workshops, and then he went to Disney World and he had gone on vacation. And I feel like ever since then, I know, but like it's that vacation, that mindset mode. However, I still see him just about every single week. I still see him on Instagram putting in the effort, putting in that accountability. So I don't know where his mindset is currently, but I do still see him putting in the effort and utilizing those healthy habits that he has built. So Russell, if you're listening, which I have a feeling you will, you are crushing it still. So I hope you realize that I see you putting in the effort, even on the days that you don't want to. And that's where it all matters. So
and celebrating it. Don't forget, friends, to celebrate it. Even if you don't feel that zest of life, if you keep telling yourself, I don't feel it, I don't feel the zest, I don't feel the motivation, you're going to stay right there. But if you start kind of telling yourself how you want to be, I am motivated, I have the zest for the journey, I am invested, I'm committed,
I have these healthy habits. Oh yeah.
I'm executing these wonderful things, then that will be the energy that
will be your reality.
Carry.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. All right.
Ooh, I know. Yeah, we got to get into our I was going to say our fast facts. Wow. Talk about bringing workshop into the podcast. Okay. Our WW virtual friends will at least know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Recommendations and star goals. So my star goal this week is I like I said, I've been working on my couch to 5K. I just today finished week 3, day 3. So super excited. I'm very proud of myself. So next week I want to execute week 4, day 1, day 2, day 3. I've got a lot coming up and I want to make sure that I schedule those days in. And so just those three days. And it's like 30 minutes each time, not asking a lot. So I've been consistent the last 3 weeks. And so I want to stay consistent these next 3 weeks. So yeah. Right. Recommendation. I just told Maggie, I wrote this down the other day and I don't have it with me. So my recommendation is going to be on a whim, friends. But like I said, one of the things I guess that helped me kind of get reinvigorated and re-excited was finding a challenge. Finding something that was going to challenge me currently. Not doing something that was just completely out of my wheelhouse, but like, okay, meet myself where I am. What can I do as a challenge that will push me just a little bit more? Just a little bit more. Y'all can find those on Pinterest with one another, on Instagram. Even if you just do one of the little TikTok like challenges. I think those are kind of fun too. I did one of those with my mom one time. So just find something that challenges you, even just a little bit, and see if that helps kind of reinvigorate anything within you. So that would be my recommendation this week. So what about you, Maggie?
Yes, I love it. Okay, so my star goal, like I kind of mentioned, we're getting ready to go back to school, and so I have to get in the routine of breakfast and lunch prep. So my goal is to do my breakfast and lunch prep this weekend. I have some time Saturday and Sunday, so no later than Sunday night it needs to be done. And then my recommendation, this is totally random, not really on topic at all, but y'all know I'm always about the snacks and the drinks and the random products. So if you have a Sonic near you, my friends, I just want to recommend Sonic water. I know they don't have them on the West Coast. That's so sad.
I feel like they do. They're just very few and far between right now.
Okay.
And that's sad.
That is sad. But even if you don't have a Sonic water at home, a Sonic at home, you can make things at home. Wow, I just lost my whole brain just short-circuited. So at Sonic waters are a thing, and what this means, and you just go and you order yourself a large ice water with that good little crushed cubed ice, and then you can add in, they have sugar-free just water enhancers. So basically, you can do this exact thing at home if you have your fun cup that you like to have in your ice and your Mios or your Crystal Light packets, but it's just mixing different combinations. So they have like a blackberry you can mix with a mango that is super delicious. They got a diet cherry flavor. So I just like, especially because it's so hot out, just having a fun water option available is really great. And then another recommendation I just wanted to throw out, I've been reading a lot lately, and there's an app called Goodreads.
You told us about that last week.
I'm embarrassed. Okay.
Yeah, well, you just brought it up briefly. Yeah, and when we were talking about the books and stuff. So
that's
you told
hilarious.
us about Goodreads.
I forgot. Yeah, so Goodreads is just the free app you can download, and then you can keep track of how many books you've read, like when you started them, when you finished them. You can rate them. You can add them to a list of what you want to read. So I've just really been liking that because it's a great place to get recommendations and learn about new books. So
yay! I know.
Obviously, I love it if I've talked about it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it was very briefly because oh my gosh, last week as I was doing our show notes, I was like, Maggie should have done this. There was so much to write down, and like a ton of it was you. I was like, I'm gonna kill her. Like, and then I went and found the link. I found, guys, I made it so easy for y'all. I found the link to every Instagram that Maggie recommended. I found a link to every product that we recommended, to every book that we recommended.
So y'all go read those show notes.
Click it. Yeah, just click it and it'll take you right there. So
don't forget to comment on our YouTube, like our stuff, rate our content, because Rachel's working really hard. And that kind of thing really helps us.
We are consistently, we are getting so close to being in the top 50 of the nutrition podcasts within the United States. Which I remember when we hit 100, I was so excited. I sent you a text over the weekend and I showed you some of our rankings. Cool. We are very big in Nigeria. Shout out to Nigeria. And but we're getting really close to being in the top 50 within the United States. And that is so exciting. And that is all because of you guys. So thank you so much for the reviews, the ratings, the comments, and just sharing it with other people. I've been hearing a lot lately, like people on our Instagram, like, oh, I listened to my first one today. Awesome. Welcome, new friends. Yes. So exciting.
All right.
Well, Maggie, what's our quote this week? You have it, right?
I do have it. The quote of the week is from Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward.
Yes. Right? Meet yourself where you are.
All right, friends.
I know. Thanks for dropping by, everybody.
And have a magical rest of your day. Bye.